Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun. Okay, so we're gonna cut, let me show you on the other one. We're gonna take and trim this so we can get a point on the end there. And really all we need is about, I don't know, 50 thousandths or so. And so we want to taper this at a 15-degree taper. Well, actually 7.5 degrees, because our let me get the there it is right here, because this sits like that and this one sits down here at 30 degrees. So if we're at 15 degrees and 15 degrees, that's going to match. And if these come together at 15 degrees each, we're going to need to trim them at, this goes that way, trim them at 7.5 degrees, or let's say 8 degrees, which gives us a little bit of room. That way we can bring them in all the way in, almost touching each other, or touching each other actually. So we're going to go to 8 degrees. Now the question is, how are we going to find 8 degrees? And I'm telling you, this is how. We're going to find 8 degrees on our hell, I can't remember the name of it. So, and then I just loosened, or I took this bolt out and I loosened this bolt, and we're just going to slide this around until we are pretty much equal. That looks pretty good to me, using this line and this line as our guide. And we're going to go ahead and tighten this up. And I think that's going to work. And you know, we're putting so little pressure on this that we don't really need to put this bolt in. All we need to do is make sure that this side is good and snug. So, let's see what we've got. We're going to bring you in close. All right, well, it's obvious that we need to make that angle a little bit steeper. Can we make it steeper? I don't think we can make it steeper, can we? Well, let's just try it there. And what we're going to do is just flip it. But we want to get to the same setting. So we'll go ahead and run this one more time. Okay, so that gives us something to work from. And that is definitely not 30 degrees. And there's 15 degrees. Oh, let's spin you around so you can see it. And there's 15 degrees right there. And I'll bet you, well, we can't really get in there to see. Oh, I know. Put these on top. So I'd say that's 15 degrees. So we need to make each side at 15 degrees rather than 8 degrees or 7.5 degrees. We'll back this up a little bit. down. Take this over to 15 degrees. We're going to go to 16 just to be sure. Loosen it up. That looks pretty good. What do you think? Okay. Okay, that's going to give us a lot of angle. Let's get you up so you can see it. Let's see what that looks like. Not quite enough of a point actually, but it looks good. Of course we got to square off that top, but let's take it in a little further. Okay, and I'd say that's just about the deal there. It might still be a little bit wide. I'm thinking we'd take just a tad more off of it. Can you see it? Looks like it's sitting at about 50 thousandths wide, and I need to come into about 30. So, just a little bit more. I'm thinking that's it. Now we just got to square that up, and we'll do that when we reset the vise. So just do this side. And this side's going to be the same. So we'll zero out the DRO so we don't have to take too much of a bite at one time. Okay, it looks pretty good. We'll come in and square that edge up, and I think we'll have it. Let's just bring the vise back. It doesn't have to be exactly square, just square enough. Oops. Don't be messing up the bit there, Nick. Okay. Put that in there. Tighten it up. Drop it down. Run it right across that face. Okay, one's just a little bit wider than the other. Might be because of length or something like that. But I think we've got at least a working edge here. And I'm hoping that's 30 degrees. What do you think? There's 30 right there. Looks pretty 30ish to me. Here, let's get you up here so you can see. What do you think? I'd say 30. Nice. Okay, let's go over and see what this looks like. Okay, if we're looking right at that, we're sitting on on top of the cross slide. This is pointing down directly on top of our wire there. Now what we have to do is get this to slide just a little bit over. I'm thinking that's just about it right there. I'm going to get my head in there and see what we got. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can follow that line. And we need to come back just a little bit. I think that looks pretty good. Well, we've lost both of our clamps, so we're going to have to put hold downs in. No biggie. Okay, we're set up, we're ready to go. We got a 3/8 bit in here. We're going to run a single pass at 75 thousandths deep. Get that tightened up. Couldn't fit better. All right, maybe a little bit of messing around, but not much. I like it. Okay, so now we trade out the bit for a drill, and we drill out our center hole, our lockdown hole. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so we're gonna just drop this in here, and we'll point it in the right direction, and it looks like it's gonna hit pretty well. So next thing we have to do is I need to get this away from this platform here by about, oh, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch or so. And the other thing is we're going to put a screw right in here, and I want to be able to rotate this back and out of the way once I get it all figured out. So because really I only need to bring this in during those last couple of cuts from about 50 thousandths down to 30 something thousandths. So rotate this out of the way, get it out of the way completely so it doesn't cause any trouble. So tomorrow we're going to put this screw in, and we're going to put a locking screw in somehow. I'm not quite sure how just yet, but something that's going to hold it in place. And we'll be back. Okay, it's early the next morning. We've got these things set up so that they're right on that center pin. And maybe I can just bring you around and show it to you. And you can see that center pin comes through and just touches the tips of those two points. So we've got that, and then I put a C-clamp on there to make sure that we're in the same place as we go. And I'm probably going to get another C-clamp on that, and then let's take it over and drill it. Okay, we're going to drill our pivot hole right here, and then we'll come up above somewhere and drill a second hole in order to hold it in place. Alright, there's the first hole. Let's just go up. Put the second one someplace close to there. Let's see how close we are to the edge. Something like that. All right, so now we can just take this apart. We got our minor diameter for the threads. 1024 is our thread design. We'll just take this off. and bring this down. Boy, I just barely made that, didn't I? Didn't even see it. Okay, but hey, it's there, whatever. All right, well, in order to meet the tool edge, we need to bring this thing out away from this this plate by about a 1/2 inch. So we're going to make a couple of 1/2 inch slugs, drill holes in them, and that'll give us a spacer for that that process. Okay, I cut these slugs off of a piece of rod. I put it in the lathe and turned the other side to get it somewhat square. Now I'm coming in and squaring up this side, and I'm probably going to go back in and flip it again one more time and square up the other side even a little bit more. But for right now, let's work on this side. All right, we got 17 thousandths to go. Okay, we should be down to 500, or they're in pretty close. 503. I can live with that. And there's 2. And they should be pretty much exactly the same width or thickness. That one's 500 even, and that one's 503. That's interesting. Oh, there's one side of it that's 500, so it's off just a little bit. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, let's take it over and see what we can do with it. Okay, we got the follow rest in place. It's just sitting there idle right now until we get down to about 50 thousandths. And we're sitting at 1/8 of an inch right now, so we got 3 or 4 passes. And I think rather than let you ride through this, I'll just turn it off right now and come back when we're down to the line. Okay, it worked perfect as planned. We were able to get this part of the shaft. Can you see that? No, you can't see it. Hang on. Let's get in a little lower. We were able to get this shaft down to 37.6 thousandths. And it supported it, and it worked great. And as far as I'm concerned, that's as far as we're going, because this thing is a pain in the ass. And once again, I should have went back and watched my video, because I'm not going to make any money. I'm spend hours and hours dinking around with this thing. So I'm walking away from it for the second time. And so, one more project out the door, this time out to the garbage can. So, this is Nick Collier, checking out.